This video is intended for viewers aged 13 and up. If you are not 13 yet, please leave.
Oh my gosh, Big Bot, you should have been there to see it. It was freaking hilarious what those Predacons did that time. Hey guys, how's it going? Yeah? Yeah, what the hell are you? I'm new here. My name's Paleotrix, and... No, I mean, what are you doing here? Well, I thought I was with you, you know? I thought I was with you. What? No way. Your whole skeleton aesthetic's too scary to be one of us. Well, I mean, it's not too far-fetched. I mean, his head is my mace. What did you just say to me, Big Bot? Man, would you mind, giving me your head for a second? Oh, yeah, of course. Just give me a second. Here you go. Hello everybody, welcome to Review 26, and today we are here to cover something brand new. I don't usually do this, but these guys came in super duper early. I was able to order them as soon as humanly possible, basically. And, yeah, I'm like, hey, why not get on that bandwagon since I'm not going to be able to get on the bandwagon with any of the other, Kingdom releases, since, I'm going through whatever. But yeah. Today we are here to look at the first Kingdom Deluxe class figure that I'm going over, which is not the number order first one, I don't think. Yeah. Yeah. It's not. But who cares? I'm really just going in order of excitement. So yeah, today we are here to look at Kingdom's first fossilizer, Paleotrax. So, yeah, the fossilizer concept is Kingdom's sequel to the weaponizer concept from Siege and Earthrise. It's only here probably because of the beast concept not really working for usual weaponizers, so they had to come up with a slightly new idea. But the basics is that these guys are parts formers, and they are proud of it. They turn into weapons and armor for your other bots, primarily your G1 bot, since it doesn't really work on most of the, Beast Wars cast, sadly. But, yeah, so, starting off, we're gonna look at the Beast mode. And he is a fossil of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. From what I can tell, he scales pretty well with the other Tyrannosaurus Rex in the wave, the Megatron. But, yeah. Starting off with the head, I really like the head sculpt. I think it looks very nice. You can take this out if you want to, but I'm going to leave it in there. Yeah, this looks very nice, in all honesty. Nom, nom, nom. Moving on to the torso, I have to say, I really like the paint that they chose. It looks very kind of fossil-y, I guess, and like old. I think it's a very nice touch to throw in there, you know? I really like the decision. But yeah, all the sculpting is very nice. I really like how the skeleton bits came out. It all just looks very nice, you know? And lines up pretty well with a real dinosaur. Now you got the bottom, the belly, it's got the belly bits. The legs, they're thin. They're fine. They're dinosaur legs. And, yeah, tail is tail. Yeah, dinosaur. Once again, I'm really just gonna go over an overview. I think the painting and the sculpting is done very nicely, especially for a Hasbro release. But yeah, it's very nicely detailed, very nicely done. But yeah, there's something I gotta get into. It has to do with these legs, and at least on my copy, the knees don't work. The knees are obscenely loose on the dinosaur mode, thus leading him to flop about. So you can't really get good T-Rex poses. You gotta kind of have them like this sometimes, which I found kind of works. But you can't really get great T-Rex poses. The weight's just not in this guy's favor, you know? It's just... There we go. We got a pose. It looks like he's pooping. But you can't get good T-Rex poses if the knees don't work. Ugh. But thankfully, most of that issue, it's fine. It's fine. Most of the joints, other than the knees, are nice and tight. Oh yeah, and I've also found that the legs pop off a bit too easily. I get why they're easily removable, parts former and all, but they are a bit too removable. And then these mushroom pegs, I've also found, like to pop off a lot, which I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of how loose those are. But yeah, I do really like what they tried to do with them. So yeah, we're gonna have them be doing this for the rest of the video so we can stand up. So in terms of accessories don't really come into play with this mode that much. The only one that I'm really gonna mention here is that each figure comes with a randomized Kingdom Collector card. They're going for a trading card thing where you peel this down, it reveals the fate. This one has like the arc crashed or whatever, but I'm not gonna take off the sticker because everyone else is taking off the sticker, and I want to keep mine intact. I'm a crazy person. I don't wanna peel that sticker. As such, that leads us into dinosaur mode articulation. So that mouth is able to hinge open all the way, which is a very nice addition. I do like it when dinosaurs are able to open their mouths and you're like, waka, 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 waka. His neck is on a hinge right there, which is always very nice. Jeez, stick. His arms are on ball joints, which allow him to go all the way around and in and out and whatever. His legs are on 5mm ports. However, that allows him to kick back and kick forward a little bit. And then these, I guess, are double hinges, but this one's only able to go back, which is purely due to for the sake of transformation. And then the legs are on extremely loose hinges. The feet here are on mushroom pegs. And, oh yeah, this is able to swivel, because it's 5mm, but it's very tight. This is able to swivel on a mushroom peg, and then this is able to hinge backward and forward, and the claws able to move in and out, but that's more so for the sake of transformation. Finally, the tail is able to hinge up and down, and this bit's able to swivel. Thanks to 5mm port stuff. And, yeah. So yeah, all in all, this dinosaur mode is very nice. However, those legs really kill it, just stopping it from being able to get good poses. But yeah, posability's fine. It works out fine. It looks very nice as a display piece, and I could see you giving this to a kid and being like, oh, a kid being like, oh my gosh, but I don't know. It's fine. It's fine as a Predacon. However, now let's get into his transformation, which, yeah, it's parts forming. It's parts forming. So to start off, I'm going to go away from the instructions and just tear them apart. Let's just tear them apart. Yeah, just tear off all the 5mm port bits. So like disassemble the legs, disassemble the tail, take off this. This is your weapon, so just put that to the side. Disassemble your tail, take this off, take off these bits, take that out, and yeah. There, pile of parts. From there, let's start off with these legs, where you're going to want to hinge these around so that the thick dino leg bits are in the front, and move these down, and make sure that the peg is on the top of the waist, you know? And then put that to the side. From there, you're going to want to take this bit as well, and hinge it down like that, and then I swivel this around however you want. You can leave it there, though, I guess. So, yeah, just hinge that port down. I also take this bit from the tail, hinge it down the other way. These are going to be your upper arms. And, yeah. From there, you're going to want to take both dino legs, and this is going to be the same on both sides, and then hinge this back up and hinge that down into a claw, and then swivel it either left or right, depending on what you feel like. And yeah. From there, you're going to want to plug in the lower arms into the upper arms, like so, where this one is the right arm, and then this one will be your left arm. So yeah, plug that in, boom, you got a pair of freakishly long arms. Yeah. Moving on to the lower legs, you're going to want to shift these ports up, and then shift that port down on both legs. And be mindful of this inner port, I guess. You don't really need it right now. I'm guessing it's so that you can attach these via 5mm ports on other figures, but yeah. From there, you take the waist that you had previously and plug it in, and I like to have these bits on the inside. So yeah, plug that in via 5mm ports, and boom, you got your lower body. Finally, you're going to want to take this head, hinge it up like that, take this bit of the head, and then hinge it downward, unplugging it from the head, the actual head. Most of them, the instructions say to plug this in there, but I just like to leave it sitting there because it allows for a greater range of articulation. And then you swivel the head around, like so. And then the chest plate kind of just exists. From there, we're going to want to get into final construction. So we're going to take the legs, and then via this 5mm port, you plug it in to the torso like so. And there we go. You're going to want to plug in the arms to these sides using the 5mm ports as previously mentioned. So, there we go. And then you're going to want to take the torso shield piece thing, and you're going to want to plug it in right there. So there we have Paleotrix all transformed up, and I honestly really like him. I like him a lot more than I ever expected. However, let's get a closer look to see why. Starting off with the head, this is a very nice head sculpt. For those of you who are Beast Wars fans, you will recognize this as Optimus Primal's mace. And yes, you are able to take out the head and use it as Optimus Primal's mace if you want to, even though this guy is a Predacon, so I don't think in lore he would let Optimus Primal take his head off and use it as a mace unless the show gets really metal. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, from there you're also able to hinge this up to reveal his real face, which I don't like as much. I like his face with the mask down. But yeah, it's a very nice touch that they were able to add that in. But yeah, I really like the weird kind of caramely paint. Adds to that feeling of him being kind of a fossil, I guess. But yeah. Moving on to the torso, and a lot of the things I said about the head, I can say about this torso. I really love the painting, I love the sculpting, I like his Predacon symbol, I like that he actually has a Predacon symbol. You got that, Seacons? They're not here right now, they're in my room. But yeah, I really like the way this is painted, and this one's a bit more sloppy than here, but I really like how it's done. I think it's a very well done. I think they should keep it up, but it doesn't look like they're going to be keeping up this specific color scheme with the next one, as he's just kind of a white and gray. But, whatever. Moving on to the arms. These things are freakishly long and misproportionate for him, but that's why I love him. I think he's just a very goofy dude. Like he'll like dragging his knuckles on the ground. But yeah, I really like how they come from these arms and these legs. I kind of wish these were able to be the legs so that you could get something a bit more proportionate, but no, it doesn't work like that. You wouldn't be able to swap in new arms. But yeah, I really like how they're done. I also really like how asymmetrical these upper shoulders are. I think it adds a nice little bit to his silhouette, with this side being like a crazy axe, and this side being a lot more slender, you know? I think that's just a very nice addition. The backpack is fairly minimal, it's just a T-Rex head. But I think that's a kind of nice addition, a decent way to get it out of the way, and yeah, it's fine. Finally, moving on to the legs, these are some very thick thighs. But yeah, they're made of the ribcage. It's once again very creative, very interesting to see. And then these lower legs are fine. I don't really. These are my least favorite bits. They feel a bit underpainted compared to everything else. But yeah, it's fine. I can deal. I can deal. Most of him is very good in robot mode. Moving on to accessories, he comes with this previously mentioned sword thing. But yeah, let's plug it into his hand. It goes into any 5mm port, so it works in these hands. Looks a bit awkward, but it works. It's honestly a bit small. I kind of wish it was a bit longer. But what can you do? This is a deluxe class figure. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, now I get to move on to articulation. Sorry I didn't do size comparisons in beast mode. It's fine. But yeah, moving on to articulation. Other than the previously mentioned head hinge, his head is on a hinge, which is able to allow him to look up that far and down that far, and is also on a swivel thanks to the 5mm port system. It's also very sharp, so be careful. Thanks to the 5mm construction, his arms are able to move a full 360 and hinge out about 90 degrees, I'd say. He also has a bicep swivel, a lower bicep swivel, but it's very tight, a hinge there, a wrist swivel, and his fingers are able to move because of the transformation. And though it does look different on this side, it's the same articulation on this side, bicep swivel, you know. If you leave the dinosaur head unplugged, you're able to get a very nice ab crunch, which is something you wouldn't expect for a deluxe figure, but yeah. And you're also able to swivel at the waist thanks to the 5mm port. His thighs are on universals, which allow him to kick forward that far, backward that far, and he's able to get the full splits, which is a very nice showing for his articulation. His thighs, his knees are able to swivel, and he's able to hinge inward like that. And instead of having a pivot here, he has a pivot all the way up there, which adds to his awkwardness factor. Like, hey, I got the power of God and anime on my side. To move on to size comparisons, as a deluxe class figure, he stands at about, I'd say, 5 3/4 inches tall. And to compare to other figures, here we have Marvel Legends movie Mysterio, the Black Series Mandalorian. Since I can't pull up the figure from my previous review, since like I said it's in my room, here we have Deluxe Class Waspinator. And a Maximal from a previous line, the Power of the Primes Leader Class Optimus Primal. I can't wait for the Voyager class to come in, because this is a fine stand-in, but that new Voyager class looks oh so nice. I can't wait for it to come in. That is usually where I would end the figure, but we have some gimmicks to cover. I'm bringing in Warpath for this since he's convenient, because he's got a lot of 5mm ports. He's really the only one in this deluxe wave that has it, which is why on the box they are shown as using the same gimmick. So, as you saw, the parts forming bits seem to be based around 5mm ports. What that allows you to do is take any 5mm port on any Siege, Earthrise, or Kingdom figure and cross-compatibilize or whatever. So, yeah, you can give Warpath really big freaking arms, you know? I'm not going to go over the transformations in the instruction, but the gimmick works pretty well for him. You're basically able to use every little bit of Paleotrex in this gimmick, in any port. So I think that's very well done. It's a very well thought out version of the gimmick. Some of them aren't really very well thought out, as you usually have to leave out certain parts, but I think it works very well for Paleotrex. You're basically able to use literally any bit of him. This is one combination between the two I was personally able to come up with, but you can do whatever the heck you want with it. I think it's a very fun gimmick. You're able to just really weaponize these guys however the heck you want. So, yeah, if you do pick up this figure, try to pick up someone else with him so that you can get the full play pattern out of him. And it's a fun play pattern. I had a lot of fun making different combinations. It's kind of the same thing as with Leader Shockwave, where most of my fun came with messing around with the play pattern for a good bit, you know? So, yeah. So yeah, all in all, I'd say this figure is a lot of good fun. He isn't my favorite from the wave. He's probably actually my least favorite, purely because he doesn't really help me in finishing up any collections. But he's a lot of fun. So yeah, I would recommend him. However, if you are going to buy him, get him with another figure. If you want, like, I'd say either one of the Deluxes or Voyagers from Siege, Earthrise, or Warpath. I guess Warpath will be the easiest to get him with, but yeah, get him with another figure, and that's how you're going to get the most fun out of him. But yeah, I do recommend him. I hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Kingdom coverage and more figure reviews in general. I've got the rest of the Deluxe Wave coming up in the next couple weeks, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!